Afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to my very first video. My name is iMac Sports, and I have been wanting to make a YouTube channel for a long time, but I haven't really gotten around to it. So, I've wanted to make a YouTube channel for probably 2 years now, but since coronavirus happened, I've wanted to do it even more. I didn't really know what I wanted to have my focus of my channel be, because almost every YouTuber has a focus to their channel. And I'd been fumbling around with the idea a little bit, and I decided I wanted it to be a sports channel. I want to be a sports commentator, not a commentator, but an analyst. And I think that this would be a cool way to get my opinions across to a broader audience. So, the first video that I'm going to be doing on the channel is an NFL mock draft simulator. I have the 8th position. I chose the 8th position because I believe that the 8th position is the best position to be in for this year's draft. And I know that the first position is always the best position to be in because Christian McCaffrey's the best player, but not everyone's going to be able to get the first position in a draft. So this room is actually pretty full. A lot of the NFL.com mock drafts don't have 8 active players. So this will be a pretty good representation of what a draft will go like because there's only 2 auto drafts in here. So for my channel, what's the vision I have for my channel? So my vision is that I want to make sports content, generalized sports content, but with a main focus on football and basketball. Football is really what the focus is going to be because I know all the players. I know the players very well, I know the teams very well, and I can make accurate predictions and accurate assumptions of what's going to happen, and I feel confident suggesting my own opinions to people, to a broader audience. I don't feel comfortable in that way, suggesting my opinions to a broader audience in, say, baseball or hockey or even basketball as much as football. So, football has been my choice for the main focus of my channel, and so I decided to start it off with a mock draft, with a fantasy football mock draft to see what this year's football is going to bring. So I have the 8th position. I'm not going to be commentating the entire time. I'm going to be skipping from pick to pick. I'll probably stay on this steady stream until pick 2, and then I'll see you at pick 3 a couple minutes later. So right now, obviously, I'm going to start with Derrick Henry. He is the best choice here. Some people say Aaron Jones is better than Derrick Henry. I disagree. I had Derrick Henry last year. He was a beast. And I would not pick Aaron Jones over Derrick Henry. I wouldn't even pick Chris Godwin over Derrick Henry because Mike Evans is also a beast, and since there are 2 beast wide receivers on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even with Tom Brady at the helm, I don't trust either of them. Now my second pick, I love running backs. I like running backs more than wide receivers. I also think that it's easier to get a good wide receiver later on in this draft cycle than a good wide receiver. So for my second pick, if Tyreek Hill and Julio Jones aren't available, I'm going with Austin Ekeler. So Austin Ekeler had Melvin Gordon competing with him for the second half of last year, but without Melvin Gordon, he went insane. Also, since he's going to have a rookie quarterback, they might lean on the run a little bit more, and he'll also catch stuff out of the backfield because that's what he does. So Austin Ekeler will be my pick if Julio Jones gets picked. If not, I will take Julio because Julio's a beast. There's no really good wide receivers, so Austin Ekeler is my guy. Okay, so pick 3 is up, and I'm going for a wide receiver. I need a wide receiver. Amari Cooper and Cooper Kupp are both incredible choices. So Cooper Kupp was one of the top wide receivers last year, but I might need to go with Amari Cooper just because I had him I'll do Cooper Kupp. I want something different. Cooper Kupp had an incredible season. Also, they lost Brandon Cooks. So, and if Jared Goff has a rebound season, then Cooper Kupp is going to have an amazing season. My next pick is it's round 4, so it's number 33. And then I don't have another pick until 48. So I'm not going to pick Zach Ertz with the 33rd pick of the draft. I might need to go for another wide receiver. Keenan Allen is a solid choice. I've never been oh no. So Adam Thielen is one of my steals, okay? So Adam Thielen is an incredible thing about 10 games last year. Adam Thielen I think is super undervalued going into this season. Luckily I got Zach Ertz at the 48th spot, even though his average draft position is 44. I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to. But again, with Adam Thielen, he is the player that I think is the most underrated out of all of the wide receivers going into this year. His average draft position is 35, and I think that he's a top 10, he's a top 5 wide receiver in my opinion. Russell Wilson was taken, he would have been my next pick. So that's why you need to look at draft positions, because otherwise you're going to get people like Russell Wilson stolen out from under you, and I need to take Dak Prescott because he will be taken by this is the 53rd pick. He's average 56, right on time. That's not a reach, that's a perfect place to draft him, because a lot of times, especially with the 8th position, you need to think 16 draft picks ahead. You need to think who's going to be gone 15 picks from now. And I know that all of the good quarterbacks will be gone in 15 picks from now. Also, I'm surprised at how many people are still in the draft. Going into pick number 7, this is a later round pick, and I don't really know what to do here because there's a lot of running backs and a lot of wide receivers where we don't know who's going to be the starter on the team. And I am almost about to pick a defense now because I don't think any defenses have gone. And once someone picks a defense, everyone picks a defense. Now I could pick one up with my next pick and try and secure someone here. David Johnson is, I think, a steal in round number 7. So I'm going to take him for now. I know that this isn't my actual draft. I've had bad luck with David Johnson in the past. I'm not saying don't pick him because he is an amazing player. But I've had bad luck with him in the past. He's gotten injured both of the last 2 years. I also don't know if he's going to be the starting running back for Houston right out the door. Duke Johnson had a pretty good season last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if David Johnson doesn't even start. So again, the Patriots defense was just picked. Now, this is the perfect time to pick a defense. So, because everyone's going to pick defenses now. The Steelers defense had an amazing defense last year. The 49ers also had an amazing defense last year. The Steelers are projected to do better, but I trust the 49ers defense more than I trust the Steelers defense. The Steelers defense came on strong late in the season last year, but the 49ers defense was strong the entire season. I almost picked the Ravens. They're also a good pick, but they're not my favorite. Again, AJ Green was just picked, and he's another guy, which I don't... Okay, so round 9 is coming up, and everyone watching this video is going to mention that my team is different. That is because I lost connection in the middle of the draft, and for some reason, I couldn't get back into my draft. So now I'm stuck with this team, which is, in my opinion, worse. And I'll explain in a minute once I make this selection, what happened. So what happened was, the last connection, I came back in, and then I picked Derrick Henry. I was trying to do the same draft, and then DeAndre Hopkins was available for the 13th pick of the draft, which I have no idea why or how. So naturally, I went along picking him because he's a steal at that position. And then I continued my draft, and so I didn't get Austin Eckler. I was going to get another decent running back. I was going to make that one trade-off, right? Well, Cooper Kupp wasn't available, so that's the trade-off for Hopkins. Adam Thielen wasn't available when I was going to pick him, so I picked Chris Carson for Austin Eckler. I picked Tyler Lockett for Adam Thielen. I believe those are pretty even comparisons. I think that Austin Eckler is better than Chris Carson, but then again, I think Hopkins is better than Cooper Kupp. So I think that overall, the team is very similar, except Zach Ertz was picked one round before I was going to pick him. And on round 7, Marlon Mack was literally a misclick. I was trying to click on David Johnson, but for some reason, Marlon was selected when I actually picked the player, which was weird. But anyways, whatever. The team is the same except for the tight end. Well, actually, it's a very different team. I'm just going to be completely frank. But it's a similar concept. The players that I got are very similar. So anyways, I got the same defense. And then I just picked up Gronk as a backup tight end because I don't trust Hunter Henry as much as I trust Zach Ertz. So to go with the feel of this team, I picked Gronk. And then Julian Edelman, I think, is a very undervalued wide receiver. I know that we don't know who Cam Newton's going to be throwing to coming up this year, but I think that Edelman is very undervalued. Now, my next pick is a no-brainer for me. It's going to be Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones had a breakout season last year, and this year he has Tom Brady. Now, the reason why I didn't pick James White, who I would have picked most years, is because James White doesn't have Tom Brady. What Tom Brady has been doing in the last few years is he likes to throw short underneath passes. And since Ronald Jones is with Tom Brady and James White is not, then Ronald Jones was my pick. Also, wonder why I have waited till round 12 to pick a kicker? It's because Matt Gay is my guy. I've decided this already. Matt Gay is the guy I'm going to be picking this year because he is super undervalued. The best kicker in the league is always the one on the team that scores the most points. Last year, the two best kickers in the league were Harrison Butker and Will Lutz on two of the highest scoring offenses in the league of the Chiefs and the Saints. I think that Tampa Bay is going to have one of the highest scoring offenses in the league, so Matt Gay is going to be my kicker. Now I have 3 more bench positions. I need a backup quarterback for my next pick. Tom Brady, of course, would be ideal, but I don't know if he'll be available. Now you see everyone's auto-drafting because they're all left the room. Tom Brady, of course, is ideal, but he's now gone. So I will probably be going with Jimmy Garoppolo or Jared Goff. I believe Jimmy Garoppolo has a lot of potential. Or Ben Roethlisberger. So Ben Roethlisberger, I think, is going to be who I'm going to pick in this video. Because Ben Roethlisberger is a great player to pick as your backup quarterback. Because he's not a safe person to pick as your starting quarterback because we don't know what he's going to do this year. But he's a great person to pick for your backup. I might go with Jimmy just be my guy. Oh, Ben might be my guy depending on who's available in my actual draft. So we have wide receiver, running back. We have an extra running back. So I like a wide receiver on this round, and there really isn't a lot of selection. The Giants, I'm going to pick up Sammy Watkins. So the Giants have a lot of question marks on their team. They have Golden Tate, they have Darius Slayton, and they have Sterling Shepard. I don't know who's going to be the starter. I might take Golden Tate just because he had an explosive second half of the season last year. But between Darius Slayton, Golden Tate, and Sammy Watkins, I'm not really sure who is the best choice there. But I might go with Golden Tate just because of the second half of the season and because he's a veteran. The Giants' receiving core is very confusing, and I wouldn't take any of them until round 14. Round 15, I'll end it off by taking I'll take Latavius. I'll take Duke Johnson. I mean, it's Mr. Irrelevant. Everyone here is mediocre at best. I might take Sammy Watkins just because I was mentioning him last round, but to be completely honest with you, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to see everyone's teams and say what my thoughts are. Just quick thoughts. I think Carson Wentz is not the best quarterback in the world. Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette are, of course, good, but they don't really have a star-studded wide receiver. Travis Kelce is an amazing player. I think that they got decent diversity, but their wide receiving core is very, very weak. Next. Josh Allen, I like as a fantasy quarterback because he runs a lot. He did very well last year. Saquon Barkley and Austin Eckler were two very good picks. Again, this team doesn't have a very strong wide receiving core. This is probably why I ended up getting Hopkins so late. They have George Kittle, which is a great pick. Steelers defense is a great pick. Harrison Butker is a great pick. But, again, terrible receivers. They had Tom Brady as their backup. They stole him from us. But Team 3. Patrick Mahomes, great choice. Melvin Gordon, great choice. Todd Gurley, we'll see. Michael Thomas, amazing. Stephon Diggs. This is an impressive team right here. This is the best team that we've seen so far. I don't like David Montgomery. I don't think that that's an amazing choice. Drew Brees is an amazing backup. Their bench is a little weak, if you ask me. Team 4. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to keep regressing. Ezekiel Elliott, we don't know about coronavirus. Kerryon Johnson, not a great pick. Tyreek Hill, that's a good pick. And so this team is wide receiver heavy. Evan Ingram, I'm not a fan. Courtland Sutton, I'm not a fan. Justin Tucker, amazing kicker, but I think that you can't pick a kicker in the 8th round. And then if you look at their bench, it's below average to my eyes. Team 5. Kyler Murray, good pick. I think I picked him too early. Dalvin Cook, good pick. Josh Jacobs, good pick. Kenny Golladay. I don't like Lions wide receivers. I'm not a fan of this team. I think that Kenny Golladay and Allen Robinson and A.J. Brown are all question marks. Juju is a good pick. A.J. Green is another question mark. Emmanuel Sanders is a question mark. This team has a lot of people that were transplanted that I don't know about. Russell Wilson was a good pick. Alvin Kamara was a good pick. James Conner, good pick. Julio. This is a good team. This is a very impressive team. If you want a good team, pick number 6 is a good pick if you pick correctly. A lot of these are good choices. The Denver defense is not my first choice. Odell is a good steal. I wouldn't pick him any earlier than round 8 because he's a big question mark. Again, most of these benches aren't impressive because the bench players don't look impressive this early. Deshaun Watson, Aaron Jones, Mark Ingram, Chris Godwin. They have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. That's a terrible choice. I'm just going to end it there. That's an awful team. Lamar, Miles Sanders, Kenyon Drake, Devontae Adams. They picked Kenyon Drake too early. Kenyon Drake can go way lower. He's supposed to be a steal this year, so we'll see when he actually goes. Calvin Ridley, I think, is an interesting team. This is a good team. I'm going to call this a good team. I don't know about Miles Sanders or Kenyon Drake, but I would say that this is a solid, decent team. Matt Ryan is a good pick. Joe Mixon's a good pick. Nick Chubb is a good pick. Adam Thielen is a good pick. This is the best team in the league. And Devonta Freeman, James White, Hardman, Kurt. This is the best team in this league. Now back to my team. I don't think my team is bad. I liked my other team better. I'm going to compare them side by side in 3. My 2 teams ended up looking like. I think that the first team is better than the second team because of the noticeable differences of Zach Ertz and Hunter Henry, Adam Thielen and Tyler Lockett, and Austin Eckler and Chris Carson. I know Hopkins, I believe, is better than Cooper Kupp, so that is a plus for the second team, but I still think that the first team is better overall. So if you liked the video, let me know. Leave a like. Comment below what your favorite team was out of the 10 that I showed you in the league, and what players you would have taken and what spots that you think that I missed out on. I'm going to be doing more content like this, more draft content. I'll also be doing a series where I predict every single game for the NFL season for every single team for the entire year. So be watching out for that. That's going to be a series. So the first one should be coming out this week or next week. So subscribe if you're interested in that. I'll also be covering analytics of basketball and baseball once they begin. So let me know in the comments below what you want to see from this channel and what you have liked about the video, and I'll see you